Here I am back in what I call the catacombs of my basement where I do my dirty work. And I'm about to start a new project, a bigger project that I've done in a while, and especially since I had my foot surgery. So this means I am up and running and going here. This is a little cabinet that belongs to my daughter Elizabeth, and it's adorable. It's a very little, it's about, I don't know, three, 3 feet tall. Um, she has it in her half bathroom in her beautiful home in Roswell, and she wants me to paint this. It's got a lot of detail, which I'm going to have so much fun with this. Um, I love it when there's a lot of movement. I call it movement, ins and outs and all arounds and spindles and uh, edges and little handles and the top. Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm about to start sanding with my Black & Decker sander, and then I'll have to do hand sanding on the little spindles. So here I go, and when I get done with this, I will take it to my studio and start the priming process. I finally got out of the catacombs of my basement. I got my little table sanded. I also got it primed and base coated. All of that is extremely boring, but I will say it's the most important part of ever doing a wood project, especially because if you don't have a good sand, a good prime, and a good base coat, you're not going to have a good finished product. And I don't think you can, it's going to be hard for you to see this, but this is the little table, and I've taken the front door off of it because and it's got a cute little base on it, which I can't show you right now, because I'm going to start working on the top first. Here's the little door that goes on the front, and it's actually an antique piece that belongs to my daughter Elizabeth. I'm doing this project for her. I spent a good bit of time, and I know you can't see this, but I did spend a good bit of time drawing out how I'm going to paint it, every little detail. Now you know how it goes. Sometimes I change my mind as I go along, but this was honestly a big project, and I've never done one this big on a YouTube video, and it's going to take a lot of time. I'll have to just film bits and pieces of it as I go along, and this is the first time I've done this in months now because of my little foot surgery that I had. And can I be bold enough to say it was a bunion surgery? It happens, folks, especially to old ladies like me. But this is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of work, and I actually did a few classes online because I wanted to learn how to do flowers better and leaves and all of that. So I took this little class online, and I actually learned a few things, and I'm going to try them out on this little chest. It may be a complete flop, but we'll have to see. So stay tuned, and I will be back with you when I'm ready to start the next part. Well, this is the little flower that I learned to do in my class, and it's the flower that I'm going to attempt to put on the top of this table, which I'm going to look at my little diagram because I've only done this one other time, and I'm using a little erasable, I hope. Yes, it erases. Little erasable marker that I'm going to sketch it with, and then I will go back and paint with my acrylics. But she said to start out with a little circle, which is the center of the flower. Okay. got my flour. And now I'm going to draw the leaves. Okay, I think that is going to be the basis of my flower, and I don't know how well that shows up, but that's going to be what I'm going to fill in with my colors. Now the other thing I was going to do, I'm not going to paint this yet, because first I need to grid what my plan is, and my plan was to do royal squares, but they're going to be a little different. They're not going to be black and white. They're going to be the ones that I do that are, well, you'll see when I do it. So I always measure, and it's actually perfect. The part that I want to do the squares is 11 by 9. So I can do perfect 1-inch squares, which I'm going to grid off, and I'm going to draw them just into the flower. You'll see, the flower's going to be in the center, and then these squares are going to be kind of around it, but they're going to kind of bleed into the flower a little bit, or merge, or whatever. So I'm going to go now and do the grid, which will be 1 inch, 11 inches by 9 inches, and then I will come back and we'll see what we're going to do next. Okay. Okay, I got it gridded, and just a reminder, since I haven't done this in a long time on film, when you have a rectangle, which this table is a rectangle, you need an odd number of squares going across and across so that they begin and end in the same color, especially if you're doing black and white. Now this is not going to be black and white, so it honestly didn't matter as much with this because I'll show you it's a whole different color way I do it. But anyway, if it were black and white, it would be perfect. It would start in black and end in black. Start in black and end in black, and it looks nice and even all over. So now I'm going to start painting over my little outline. And I'm using acrylics. The lesson that I took was a whole different process. And I think it's called gouache. I'll have to go listen to what she says again. I can't remember. Now I have to let this dry before I can do the next step. And I may add another layer onto this purple. Okay, that's my latest attempt at a flower. So I'm gonna have to really let that dry and maybe start on doing something else of what I have planned down somewhere else, because that has to dry good. So I'll figure it out and I'll be back. I've almost finished this top part, and I was gonna show you a little bit of what I do. I have a palette and I just pick up these different colors in my brush and make my little squares. Now I kind of don't know how they're going to turn out. I'm trying to see if I can turn this where you can see me do this. I'm trying to come towards the flower so I can sort of fade it into the bloom. And I try to go crosswise. And these are called my sumptuous squares because they are sumptuous. You have to go look it up in a thesaurus. Sorry. It means expensive, fine, beautiful, extraordinary. And it's a royal term, of which, if you haven't heard the video I did about our connection with the quote royals, then you'll just have to go find that video and watch it, because I'm not going to talk about it again. It's in regards to our genealogy. I'll put it that way. Now, here we go. Maybe that looks a bit of a mess to you, I don't know. But I think once I'm done with everything else I'm going to do, it's going to look really great. And I'm going to do the same squares down below, which I will have to show you once I'm finished because I can't get the camera down there. Okay, I'm moving on. morning. It's another day, and I do not like this color. I think it's too bright, so I'm going to see if I can just paint over it and get what I want. I may have to do 2 coats. I might should have just covered it in white first and then come back with this color. But I'm going to like this better. It's a little more subtle. This table, anyway, I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it went with the top up here. Just did not meet my color expectations. Remember what I always say, nothing's fatal with acrylics. I love acrylics because really and truly you can fix anything easily. Well, it depends on how big how big a mistake I made. Sometimes it's not so easy. Okay. There. That's better. This little project is over, and there's so much of it I didn't film because it just takes hours and hours to do all the little details that I do, but hopefully you get a gist of what it's all about. And once again, it's summertime, so in my studio, which is an enclosed area beneath my deck, and the air conditioners are right outside, so I'm gonna have background noise. In the wintertime, it's not so bad, but in the summertime, there's that little roary, annoying noise in the background. That's what it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope Elizabeth's gonna be pleased with her little cabinet. And so long till my next project. Bye-bye.